Hi. Well, here we are with the last essay assignment of the semester. And first of all, I want to congratulate all of you for getting to this point. It's not easy to take British Lit 2, and it's certainly not easy to do it online. And to do it online and in the summer, where we have half the time to do the reading and the writing, is truly impressive. So congratulations to all of you who have made it through, which is great. So here we have our final paper, Post-Modernism / Post-Colonialism essay prompt. Choose one of the following topics and construct an argumentative essay based on research and your own close reading of the primary text. Okay, so as we've done before, you choose one of these questions. First question, what is Samuel Beckett's play, Waiting for Godot, saying about human suffering? What is it saying about possible salvation? Okay, so Godot is arguably the most famous piece of this last section. Samuel Beckett's play. Very powerful play, often performed. Pretty intense. What is it saying about human suffering? What is it saying about possible salvation? If you know the play already, you know where this is going. Next question. Pick one of the characters from Zadie Smith's short story, The Waiter's Wife, and examine how he or she responds to the experience of being an immigrant in London. You may consider issues such as language, dress, manners, money, status, marital / romantic expectations, cultural assimilation and/or isolation, or any other issue that can help explore the immigrant experience. Now, I want to caution you, Zadie Smith's story, The Waiter's Wife, is a little different. It comes from, I shouldn't even say it comes from, because it's not really a direct excerpt. It has the same characters that are in her novel, White Teeth, which of course was very famous, very popular story. But the book and the short story are actually a little different. They kind of, if we were talking about Marvel Comics, we would almost say it's a different universe. Same characters, but slightly different relationships and actually different chronology as well. So if you've read the novel, don't think, oh, I know what's in the short story. It's actually a little bit different. So you have to read the short story itself. And if you have read the novel, you will notice, I think, right away, some of the changes that are evident in the short story. Another question. How is Doris Lessing's short story, To Room 19, a story of failure? You can choose what sort of failure it is, but you must choose something specific and develop your argument with that as your focus. Now, I'm going to tell you the very, very first line of Doris Lessing's short story talks about failure. Right? It's the very first sentence of the short story. But we may not agree with that very first sentence after we're done reading the entire story. Last, choose either J.M. Coetzee's Waiting for Barbarians or Kazuo Ishiguro's A Village After Dark. Okay, so there's option here. Choose one or the other. Please do not write on both in the same question. Okay, I want just one of the stories. And argue how it serves as an allegory for the colonial experience of the colonizer and the colonized. So that probably focuses on that word allegory, right? Allegory. An allegory is really a symbolic story, right? Where characters and situations have meaning beyond just the literal sense of what's happening. Okay? So both of these stories are very powerful stories. They deal with powerful issues, particularly about the colonial world, which of course Great Britain was deeply involved with. The paper is due to be submitted to Canvas by Friday, August 9th, 11:59 p.m. Keep in mind that is the last day of the semester. Keep in mind that you don't get an extra weekend to work on it, right? So all the previous papers we've had have been turned in on a Monday. We don't have the benefit of being able to do that this time. It has to be on Friday, August the 9th, which is the last day of the semester. Be sure to follow the out-of-class essay guidelines for matters of form and style, right? And some of you have been very good about that, and some of you are still not bothered to pay attention to that, and your grades reflect that. Use correct MLA documentation as described in the MLA for Literature class handout and video, and the MLA format handout video available on Canvas. Okay, and again, some of you have been pretty good about that, and some of you have paid no attention, and your grades reflect that. Be sure to include a word count at the end of your essay. Remember, you must meet the minimum requirements, including word count, sources, and subject. No late essays will be accepted. This is the end of the semester. Okay, so that's just that. To review briefly the minimum requirements. Again, about 1,000 to 1,400 words. The bottom end is pretty solid. If you're less than 1,000 words, you're not developing your essay enough. The 1,400 at the higher end, that's more flexible. Citations from at least 4 different sources. One of the sources must be the primary text. Remember, the primary text refers to the text itself that you're looking at, whether it's Coetzee's Waiting for Barbarians, Doris Lessing's To Room 19, whether it's The Waiter's Wife, right? Those, Waiting for Godot, A Village After Dark, those are the primary texts. So you choose one of those. Now you have, in addition to the primary text, you have 2 sources that must be scholarly works. They should be articles from peer-reviewed journals or excerpts from University Press books. These can be found on EBSCOhost or JSTOR. Again, some of you have not been as strong about doing this as others. And again, that does come out in the wash. The 4th source can be a source of your own choosing, but it still must be a credible analytical source in its own right. We don't want to have bad sources, even if they're not journal articles. The textbook only counts as a primary text, although you may certainly use its editorial materials in your essay. So Greenblatt and all the others who were involved in producing our textbook, right, you may certainly use their work, but it doesn't count as an additional source. And as always, you may have more than these 4, right? I'm always astonished at how many people seem to just stop at 4, like doing the bare minimum. But if you need more to make your paper work, you need more. MLA presentation and documentation, including correct work cited. And again, seen a lot of issues with that per se. Again, I really encourage you to look back over the MLA and for the literature class handout that I produced for you guys. It's actually, I think, pretty valuable. Of course, I'm biased because I wrote it. Okay, so there we have it. Last paper of the semester. Post-Modernism, Post-Colonialism. Right, we're going basically from the end of World War II to the present. And some of these authors, at least 3 of the authors, to my understanding, are still alive today. Okay, take care.